every city basically was a star city. It had these stars around them, but they were all walled, but also somatic shapes. These are the moats, we're told, right? Because we're all taught that castles and, you know, were these square buildings with a moat. But when we can see them from above, there's these intricate somatic patterns, and clearly you can see why we call them star forts, because they look like stars.
So here's one in Portugal, one of the star forts, the huge amount of terraforming around it. Amazingly, this one is still in pretty much pristine condition compared to the destruction of most of the ones you find today.
Piano notes. As you can see, these are all somatic. A sharp, B, C, and they're all these somatic shapes. These are cathedral windows, this line here. These are, you know, rose windows, are all in cathedrals, and these are somatic patterns, which are created through frequency, so either harmonics or intention. Down here we have, this is our DNA, so these are fractals or somatic patterns of our DNA. This is what we get when it's good intention. We get these perfect, you know, geometrical shapes, and when it's bad intention, we get this goo. So this is like a polluted river, and this is like a clean river. And so if we tie this back to the cathedrals that have got these windows, and they're connected to the ether with all these spires, and then what else do we have in cathedrals but these things called organs, right? I mean, we have these things called organs in our body, and we just, the DNA, you know, somatic is the same as some frequencies in these windows. So what this is all looking like is these are you know, healing factors, or not even healing, wellness, I guess, just to keep people well. They're pumping out frequencies.
You can literally Google any city of the old world from the 1600s and back, and it will come up in these star fort shapes, and every single one is like Venice, and there's canals everywhere. Those were the highways of the time, but they were also so much more, with all of like this hidden technology, infrastructure, and buried history.
And you can see this one again, always these big cathedrals in the cities, but here's one of the stars, right, or batteries attached into the wall. And there's even another one of these more sort of irregular shaped ones out here, but they always have these stars attached, you know, to these star cities. And again, the canals, and you know, you can see this is a big iron kind of thing as well. But the thing is with water's free energy. You know, you float a boat, you use the current, right? The current.
How about the water wheels? What are water wheels? Water wheels are harnessing electrical power. Electricity just as much as it was the physical power and mechanical power that they used out of it. What's to say that windmills and water wheels weren't actually generating hydroelectric and wind power a few 500 years ago?
This is a drawing. This is New York City, right? Battery Park is because this is what was there, a battery.
And we are live.
We are. Hello.
How are you, good Campbell?
Everyone. Welcome. How am I? I'm warm. How are you?
I'm frickin' freezing, and I guess it makes sense because it's the longest day where you are, so the most sun, and it's the shortest day where I am, so very little, and you're at plus 35 degrees Celsius, and I'm literally at minus 35 degrees Celsius again without wind chill.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you go in the sun,
35 degrees here.
And if you're in the sun, it's probably like 40, 42. Just probably frying eggs on your car hood.
It would fry a birdie. I think you would just burst into flames if you stepped into Perth at the moment.
Speaking of fried,
whatever happened to
thank you,
spontaneous
Sherry Ives, for the little hashisha Christmas present, and all those who have donated some medical cannabis.
That's hashtag, buddy.
Hashtag Sherry Ives chocolate delivery. Freaking love you, and love all of you that have sent presents and or donations over the entire year. Bless all of your souls, and we wouldn't be able to keep this going without everyone's support. So yes. Thank you, everybody.
And welcome to Cindy. Thank you for joining us. New subscriber. All right. So
Beautiful.
it's the solstice, and Bernie, are you frozen or are you just frozen or are you freezing? I don't know. No, he's frozen.
Right,
He's
like
gone.
this.
He's
This
back.
is
He was still talking.
just to go outside
You lost
for
it there
a
for
cigarette, which is, it's actually good because I cut down about 90%, 95% the amount of tobacco I smoke at this time of year in these conditions where it's like normally I'm smoking, I want to say on average a half a pack, but sometimes gets up to like a full pack between me and Amber a day.
boy.
And now it's like 4 cigarettes a day because 3 layers. You got to put
So
on.
you could start up a quit smoking. Oh my God! What are you wearing? You've got like a camo onesie.
It's a banana
You
camouflage
look like a very
banana.
cold hunter.
Full
You keep
snow
freezing,
suit.
Bernie. Is he freezing for everyone else, or is it just me? Can you let me know
Right?
in the
So
chat?
it's
Is Bernie freezing?
I had to try out Sherry Ives Christmas chocolate before the stream, and
You got
thus
chocolate too. Wow.
I figured why not show the camouflage banana that you can sometimes see tumbling down the Rocky Mountains when I hike up the ski hills of western Alberta, like Banff National Park, Lake Louise. Thankfully,
You're
when I
getting
was
lots of
younger,
comments on your function.
like I was crazy when I was younger. I did a lot of skiing and snowboarding, like in my 20s and whatnot. And this snow suit, I actually still have 3 remaining pairs
You
of the
keep
snow
freezing.
pants and 4 of the jackets. 2 are the one I'm wearing, and 2 are even thicker and warmer that I should be wearing right now. But the zippers broke. I used to have a clothing store about 10 years ago. So I bought all of those banana camouflage suits that came to North America, all 10 of them for my store. And then when it went under, because it was the 2008 recession when I opened, just horrible timing, I ended up with 5 of them and just keeping them. So it's like I'm the Bart Simpson, same 5 of the exact same items in the closet, always wearing the same thing. And it just happens to be a ridiculous vomit camo.
Nice. Well, there we go. Thank you for sorting that out. I think, is it me? Do I keep freezing? Because you keep freezing for me, and I know you're freezing, but it might be because I'm hotspotting off my phone at the moment. But yeah, anyway, we shall carry on. You've frozen again on me, Bernie.
Well, Campbell, your video and sound's loud and clear. It hasn't cut out for me, so just continue on. And it seems like I'm still good on my end. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just keep going like you're not freezing. It's just it's the weather. It's the weather. Everything's a fractal, right? You're freezing, and so now you're freezing. I mean, come on.
But it's cold. The teeth are chattering. All right. So
happy solstice to everyone.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
whether
I just
you be cold or hot, we hope you're enjoying your day. We have a massive lag going on.
The equator and the pyramids. And I literally, just before this stream started, I was watching Anyxtee channel, ANYEXTEE, and he was streaming live from the Giza Plateau, the sunrise in Egypt, showing the solstice alignment as the sun was rising in some of, I believe, the Luxor. Or no, sorry, not Luxor. One of the religious temple buildings, not the pyramid itself, though. I think he's going to the main pyramid for the sunset.
Karnak or
yeah, I think that's what it was.
Egypt.
I believe you're correct with Karnak. But why I brought that up is I've been talking to Annex T, and he's going to be coming on Autodidactic Alchemist in the new year to show off all of his works in both Egypt. He goes into like the tunnels, explores the different sites, including the pyramids themselves and underground in them, as well as he's originally from LA and did a lot from Manly P. Hall's libraries and into the esoteric readings and spiritual alchemy side of things.
Cool. Well, you keep freezing, so I am going to disconnect and try and see if my internet's working. So I'll be back in a minute or so.
In the meantime, I will show off some pyramids then that, well, Campbell is connecting from his computer through his cell phone as the cable people, I believe, are there trying to reconnect his landline or his house internet. So little technical difficulties, but he will be right back. How did he appear on YouTube and the streams? Because for StreamYard, he never cut out and I never froze. It was pretty good. Pyramids, to the point though. What this whole stream is supposed to be about. There is still learning the new computer. Thank you, all of those who supported and donated and made this new laptop possible. It wouldn't have been possible without all of you. And now we should have it up right here. Pyramids of the world. There's pyramid structures appear in every continent on our realm, as well as throughout all of the major society civilizations on the different continents and ancient time periods of history here. And that whether it's through Asia, Southeast Asia, all the way to Northeast Asia, going through Korea, up in Siberia, a whole bunch all throughout China, then through Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, the South Pacific Islands, Micronesia, Macronesia, and then go down through, of course, the Middle East, where they're most famous, whether the tip of Africa or throughout Mesopotamia, original Babylon, Sumeria, the Assyrians, and Europe as well. The Bosnian pyramids. There's pyramids in France, in Greece. Paul Cook has shown what appear to be several throughout the UK. And then, of course, Africa, going up into up the Nile, Nubian pyramids of Sudan, and I think there might be other pyramids. Kenya, definitely South Africa, all the ones that Michael Tellinger has shown, and then of course all the pyramids through North America, through Mexico, Central America, and South America, as well as the valid pictures of Antarctica. Well, what need to be validated, the ones appearing to poke through the ice that have been found over the years through Google Earth, all of the anomalies through the satellite imagery there, as well as some actual what were called Pyramid Mountains by the U.S. Navy officially around, I think, McMurdo or Little America there, that there are some real pictures of Antarctic pyramids. Why I bring this up is not the fake AI generated images of pyramids and civilization that have been going around lately. And I believe that will ultimately be used, and probably is being used, to try to discredit the real images of what exists in Antarctica or have been disclosed so far. Supposedly also yet to be fully verified Alaskan and Yukon pyramids as well, and what I believe I found in the Drumheller Badlands of Alberta. Anywho, different types. Step pyramids. There are terraformed valley hill mountain pyramids. There are ziggurat style pyramids, and there are like the Bosnian pyramids, the Indonesian style pyramids, some in Indonesia. So Borobudur Temple in Java, Indonesia. It's a type of step pyramid, and it's claimed to be, I believe, Buddhist, but I could be wrong. Sorry for my ignorance to not fully confirm, but that it's a megalithic structure that definitely is a pyramid of types, but it's much flatter, larger tabletop, as well as what appears to be some sort of resonating antiquitech of the, oh my goodness, I forget the exact name, specific archaeological name for the artifact that is called, but it's like a claimed to be some sort of religious figure thing, but what appears to actually be resonating antiquitech, all the way to what is on the Faram Foundation's Indonesian pyramids, where it's more like the Bosnian pyramid style and Grand Canyon pyramid complex mountain style of step pyramids. This on screen now being an example of the Indonesian mountain style step pyramid, and that there's several of these in and around Indonesia and the surrounding Asian islands here. The most famous of this type of Indonesian pyramid being the one made out of all the basalt columns that Graham Hancock goes deep into the research of and understanding it and actually investigating it. I believe he's been on location to that one pyramid in Indonesia, the archaeological sites, 4 times now at least over several years, and promotes it. And real, honest, journalistic, integrity archaeological journalism with scientific scrutiny and practice. I believe Graham Hancock, in this case of investigating these pyramids, is one of the best in the world, to be honest. And one of the episodes of his new Netflix series is specifically on is it Guangpeng Dong? Is that, no? If anybody knows the name of the pyramid I'm talking about in Graham Hancock's series, please put it in the chat. Had a brain fart. Warning: THC gives you temporary. See, look at that. I froze again. Memory loss. There we go. That's the word I was talking about. I do assure you, though, you get a good night's rest and a healthy diet, and it comes back. Also, it's monatomic gold. The couple times, honest to God, this year, the first few times that I did eat physical monoatomic powder that I made out of 24 karat gold down into the white powder, and only that metal, gram for gram. The cognitive capabilities and memory increase I was given for the next several days each time was absolutely astounding. I started remembering all of my memories from a child were coming back. It was almost like getting, pretty sure it did kind of give, what's it called? Photographic memory. I'm gonna shut up now and let you take over a little bit here. Or should I let you figure things out?
What are we talking about? Is
So
this the one in the Philippines? Is it the one that Graham Hancock was talking about?
So these are in Indonesia, just like Graham Hancock's pyramid, but these are not the specific pyramid that Graham Hancock goes deep into. But that was what I was rambling on about while you were out. And then I just brought these other ones up that are all decoded by the Ferram Foundation and used for the Ferram Foundation's geoglyphology, based off of these different Indonesian mountain pyramids, and verifying and claiming the same method that he uses on the Bosnian mountain pyramids as well. And Graham Hancock's mountain pyramid is specifically different because it's made out of the basalt columns, where these look more like the terraformed mountains, like the Bosnian pyramid styles. And it just goes to show that there's all sorts of different ancient massive pyramids throughout Indonesia and that area, including in the capital of Indonesia, Java, Indonesia, the Borobudur temple, which is claimed to be, I believe, Buddhist, or is it Hindu? I'm not sure. One of the
I think it's Buddhist.
It's around there.
Or Buddhist.
Yeah, it is. I believe it is the Buddhist. And yeah, so
the thing, right? They're all same as South America. Like when I was in school, it was pretty much just the Egyptian pyramids, and then it suddenly there was all these ones in South America and Bosnia, and now we're finding them all through Asia. It's just in China. Then that China came out. They're just everywhere.
And what Paul Cook even seems to be showing some destroyed ones in the UK. And yes, we gotta get you, Campbell, and we should look into that today a little bit. Even at the end of the episode, we'll pull up Google Earth and one of the Google World Pyramid maps and try and plug it in, see what's around there.
Yeah.
And maybe you, Kelly, and or Callum will be going to explore some Australian pyramids, because there's all those Egyptian sites that are there, right?
Yeah, in the Blue Mountains. Yeah, that'd be a good place to look. It's mountains, right? So they say. I did find an old book as well that we could have a bit of a look at, and Ken. Oh my God, what's happening? I've got a new screen popping up for some reason. Ken did a stream on pyramids today as well, and he was saying that they're all geopolymer. Of course.
Ken Wheeler was saying geopolymer. Perfect.
Yep. So
getting on the
which it's the only thing that makes sense, And then is it David DeVitos or something like that? His name is who sort of started the whole geopolymer thing back in the 90s, I think. And he was making big blocks and casting them to show that the pyramids could be made, that way. Rather than a million people pushing big stones up ramps without wheels, because that makes
exactly
sense. Oh, and did we say thank you to the person who gave us a donation before we even started? Who was that person? We got a super chat before we started. So whoever that was, thank you very much. I'm trying to find your name.
Campbell, you still there? Or did we lose you? Oh, is Campbell frozen? I think he might be frozen. In that case, let's play a bit of Ken Wheeler's video, also known as the Aurea Apophysis. And I didn't have time to watch it before the start of the stream, but it just, you gotta love synchronicity. And Ken Wheeler here, amazing, amazing individual. Many of you already know him, and I have been in talks with Ken to get him both to present during an APEC conference as well as to come on our show and talk with us in the new year. Hopefully, he takes us up on this offer. Let me know in the live chat if I'm still here and talking, or if Campbell is back as I get this loaded. Okay, just me. Campbell disappeared. Hopefully he'll be back soon and his internet is working.
Giant carved blocks of stone, many of which are absolutely astronomically huge, up this impossible ramp. And actually, as it's been plotted out by computer, this one ramp,
the sound still works.
And they actually came up with an external spiral, which is proven to be completely impossible also. This long ramp would have 3 times the mass of the pyramid itself to be anything other than a pitch that is absolutely less than like an alpine ski slope where you're trying to get up extreme high velocity. You could actually have an extreme angle, but no form of weight materialist nonsense, such as aliens and all forms of absurdities. And it's been proven mathematically, the Great Pyramids of Giza, for example, were built in a relatively short period of time. Just the Pyramid of Khufu, for example, relatively short period of time. But this idea that endless thousands of people were needed to construct it, everybody agreed to the fact that these people are the great builders. You have these ridiculous methods of you stick enough endless thousands of people and enough brute force on it, it can get done. Well, it could, but it would be ridiculously stupid or ridiculously impossible, and that would never be done by the great builders of the pyramids of Giza. And it would take an astronomically long period of time, which we know that these were built relatively quickly. Now, my definition of relatively quickly is certainly different than yours, but using extreme brute force and endless thousands of people is absolutely impossible. It's just an absurdity. So let's get to it and actually combine a few things that we know are true. Now, this was proven that the white Tura limestone, the outside casing stones, which were actually peeled off over a period of like 2,000 plus years to actually build houses in Cairo. They were actually peeled off. The only external white Tura casing limestones exist at the top of the Great Pyramid because it's just too damn high. They actually peeled them off with pry bores and whatnot. We know that. We know the houses that these are built with. But those are actually real stones. Those are not geopolymers. But geopolymers itself would not prove a sufficient explanation. However, the geopolymer explanation is accurate. However, the external casing stones are actual stones. Like, well, how did they get such a tight fit? Well, the ancient Greeks actually figured that out. They got from the Egyptians. We don't know. So let's paint a really, really simple picture. And by the way, I've been talking about this for a very long time. This is a map due to satellite imagery of where the Nile, all rivers change course over many thousands of years. Over here we have the Giza pyramids. You may or may not be able to see this, but the Giza pyramids are right here. Currently, the Nile River is way the heck over here, but it's measured in thousands of years where the actual Nile River ran. Very simple dating methodology, and we know where it was. It was right next to the Giza pyramids, literally right next to it. The pyramids themselves never could have been built if they were not right next to, not only for water, but for water wheel mechanisms for moving things and mixing things. Also, too, there's a simple technique used by the Greeks to build the Parthenon. Whether they got that from the Egyptians, who knows? I certainly won't speculate, but a simple way of mating up. Why did they had to use lasers or some sort of advanced technology? You know, they use Stone Age technology, literally, and it's rather quite brilliant of how they got the stones to mate up so well. However, the central portion of the pyramid is geopolymers. That's actually been proven. So let's attack it one thing after another. And the fundamental picture of how the Great Pyramids of Giza were built becomes divinely simple. And it was done in a relatively short period of time, and it didn't require endless thousands and thousands and thousands of people. As has been said throughout my entire life, they say that, you know, basically it would have taken several surrounding countries worth of people to work nonstop, you know, for an eternity to build them. And that
Oh,
no matter how devoted
I'm
or how
back.
faithful
Sorry, internet.
is completely ridiculous. Nor would you ever conclude brute force out of the great builders of the Giza pyramids. So we know that the Nile River, back these many thousands of years ago, and I won't speculate on the date because everybody has a different date. It doesn't matter ultimately in the scheme on the date of the pyramids, only how they were built and how it was done rather simply and geniusly. It still took an enormous amount of work, of course. So the white Tura limestones are real, but the central part was a geopolymer concrete made of crushed limestone, clay, water, and lime. This has also, too, been proven with the microscopic samples showing the actual fossil conglomeration in these geopolymers, basically a concrete. Say geopolymers, let's just say a concrete. They also, too, found many countless examples. There's a great and brilliant book written on the geopolymers of the Great Pyramids, the presence of organic fibers and air bubbles, as you would find in any concrete. Of course, current day, when we built the megastructures out of concrete, we use these huge vibratory rods that are actually dipped into the wet concrete, and it vibrates out most of the bubbles. We can't assume to know what they did to get most of the bubbles out, but there are impossible bubbles found throughout the central blocks of the Great Pyramids, and the presence of organic fibers, which would never be found in endless millions of year old natural limestone. So these are undeniable geopolymers, i.e. concrete. Now, the external casing was proven, and not too long ago. I think it was also proven, not by Jean-Pierre Houdin, but not by Robert Bauval either. I forget, he's a skinny, lanky guy that speaks French, and he kind of has crooked, I can't remember his name to save my life. Anyway, he proved that the casing stones were actually laid first before the internal structure. And how would that be possible? That would be impossible. It couldn't be done possibly through an external ramp, which is completely ludicrous. Anything that's just slightly less ludicrous than that extremely long ramp, which would have been 3 times the mass of the Pyramid of Khufu, is a spiral ramp that goes around the outside. But they did discover a spiral ramp that ran on the inside. Also, too, it was discovered by Jean-Pierre Houdin, and he gives an enormous amount of proof of this. I'll get on to this third point here in a second. Anyway, the outer blocks, the casing stones of white Tura limestone, were laid first to maintain the angles for the form that's rising. Also, too, they provide slip forms for the actual pouring of the geopolymer concrete of the interior blocks of the pyramids. It helps laying the outer blocks first, helps monitor the geometry of the pyramid rising, speed up the slip forms of the poured geopolymer concrete. Also, too, how are these stones? Now, remember the interior. Now, the granite inside the king's chamber, that is actual stone. That is not poured geopolymer. Is there a slight possibility that it is? It's possible, but it would comprise less than 0.1% of the totality of the Great Pyramids, not including the external casing stones. If this granite, and of course the sarcophagus, and it may not be a sarcophagus, I won't speculate on that, are actual stones that were laid into place of the king's chamber. But how they actually smooth the outer casing stones and the extreme precision of the granite.
Attention speakers, authors, and consultants. Do you know how powerful?
I want to know how to podcast powerfully. There we go. go, Mr. Ken Wheeler.
Oh, did I cut off the one ad we wanted to hear? Oh dear.
That could have been a big break, man. We probably only cost $5,000 for him to. Gosh.
Right, exactly.
So,
just give us
Mr. Ken Wheeler.
$5,000 a month, so we can act like we're gonna make it famous. And sell your soul.
You'll be a podcasting millionaire.
All right.
I've got a video here of the guy he was saying he couldn't remember the name. It's pretty sure his first name is David, and it's Davidovitis. Oh God, I don't even know how to say that. David Ovitz. Daviditz. Yeah. Anyway.
Bless his soul.
I'm trying to speak.
It's okay. I butcher names all the time.
He was the one who first, sort of did all the experiments. And I do have a book here as well. If I can find it on. Is this the right book? Yes, it is, on the pyramids, which is handy because that's what we're talking about.
Indeed, indeed. The Solstice alignment pyramids.
So here we go. This is a journal. Voyage made by order of the king to the equator. Oh, there we go. And I think it's got some writing. It does get interesting. Yeah, so let's go. What have we got here? This is not pyramids, but this is interesting. Paul Cook might find this interesting. Again, I can't read this. It's French, but see how it's got all these names on all the tops of the mountains? I'm wondering if they're like where the water's pouring out. Could be
the geoglyphology.
Or maybe from above. Yeah, they could be pictures. Good point. Yeah, right. Nice one. Hang on, let me just get to the pyramids. Oh, come on, internet. We just got new internet, and it's supposed to be amazing, and it's not being amazing.
Never is, right?
What do I do now? Do I go backwards? Do I go forwards? This did not make for good podcasting. Oh my gosh. What's going on?
It just says no.
Am I still
Nope. Did
right,
it just freeze on you again?
It just did. So I may drop out again. Yeah, we just got the internet changed, and now it's supposed to be like the best high speed,
the best ever,
everything,
and it doesn't even work.
So it's trying to keep up with my phone basically. So that's not good.
Tisk.
Tisk.
You have to use your phone just to.
And it's 2022, right? I mean, with all these satellites in space, we should have perfect internet everywhere, right? But,
well, that Elon the savior, if that's how you feel, the Starlink, you got it.
Starlink, that's what we need. I think we need more red sports cars as well. I think that'll improve the signal.
Sending them to Mars, nonetheless, correct?
Sending them to Mars. All right, hang on. What have we got here? It seems to be working. I've got a few pictures. Should we try it again? Let's see what happens.
Try one more time. All right.
One more try. All right. So this time I'll go.
We got it. I see pyramids.
Measure of the three pyramids. Is that right? Well, I mean, Premiere, so that's not pyramid. Astronomical measurements. What's this dude doing? Oh, look, he's looking up at the stars, and he's looking at a clock, and he's looking at them both. There you go. Bit of a
And we got,
voyeuristic picture.
looks like power there.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
But
He was holding a big light. I didn't even look at that. So this is called that Phaeum et Environs, and it starts off, I'm not sure what this is, but we've got this pyramid-shaped mountain. Oh, those line drawings are freaking my eyes out. And it looks like they start digging into it.
oh,
Buildings?
of course, right? Let's
know.
just take that
Oh,
ancient monument and turn it into a quarry. Just
and
quarry her
look,
down.
it looks like, did they shape that out of that mountain, do you reckon?
Oh, I see what
What
you're
are
saying.
showing?
Potentially, did they mine a mountain down? Good question. Could be
Yeah, like
possible.
started like this, and then they mined
Or they
it,
poured a
and they got to
giant
this,
blob.
and they cut it down to this.
Like if it was
Yeah,
geopolymer,
maybe, yeah.
potentially chisel it down. Interesting.
So two pyramids. Something coming. So here you go. Here's another sort of bent pyramid. Another one in the background, and looks like there's lots of pyramids there. So this is
We're looking at the
Phaeum
Egyptian
surrounding two brick pyramids of the east. Pyramids at Maya, blah blah blah. France. Oh, authors French. So I haven't got heaps on it. Yeah, it's in Egypt, so they're definitely Egypt.
Okay, it's the Egyptian pyramids.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
not sure what they're trying to show us with that one. So now we're in Memphis, so there we go. We've all sort of seen this layout before. Of course, it's a circuit board. Look, we've even got the plug. It's about to like plug in.
All right, look at that. It looks like it's a macro processor. It looks like a microchip, but on a macro scale. And then the fact that they're made out of silicon and quartz, that's pretty much exactly what your microchips and your processors are made out of. And the story goes that wherever the conquistadors went, they stripped the gold or the metal capstones and layers off of the pyramids, and that would have been your electric connectivity of a
conductors,
macro machine.
And of course, we've got these three smaller pyramids that don't get talked about much. They sort of do get mentioned. And then around the Great Pyramid, there's even more. Now, most of these, I think, are gone now. You can see there was another three pyramids there. These are, it says ruins in ruins. That one looks all right. And then these ones all look smashed as well. There you go, ruins, pyramids in ruins. So it looks like there was more there back in, when's this, 1700s, late 1700s. And then tombs, right? Look at that, very, again, circuit boardy, isn't it? Like, and of course, we've heard about the piezoelectric properties of bones and all this weird stuff. So who knows what's going on there?
Right, and when we have Michelle and Paul together, that will be the perfect round table to bring this back up because of Paul's geopolymer work and Michelle Gibson's circuit board earth work and alignment works that you got to remember to do
indeed.
with the four of us.
Now this says General Pyramids. I'm guessing this is Giza, but we've got four pyramids. There's another one down there, unless that's one of those side ones. Ruins, of course, in the front here.
There's the stories of the black and the red pyramids, and the fourth pyramid from like the 16 and 1500s, I believe. If there's a few different sources for that.
Oh.
And then in ancient times, lots of talk of those in Egypt.
Did they talk about the second Sphinx? Can you see this? See the two paws?
Right.
And it's just been cut in half.
And that
Is that another
there's a
Sphinx?
few videos on YouTube of people sneaking into that second Sphinx site. That is now verified that actually exists. There's the second Sphinx there that they
Does
cover
exist?
up.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen those videos?
No, I haven't. We'll have to have a look because
I
the
think
actual Sphinx is here. Look, it's only just got the head popping out.
it was with Aaron Colbert, actually, the stream I did, my second stream ever on BurnEye Mind's Third Eye YouTube channel, that we brought that up, and we did actually about a 45-minute segment playing about 4 different people's videos sneaking into that area and showing it off.
Wow, okay. Maybe we'll have to have a look at them. Here's some of those smashed pyramids, the ones in ruins next to the Great Pyramid. So, you know, they're no longer there. So, yeah, that may be this fabled Black Pyramid and a second Sphinx all in one picture. Not bad. All right, so this is, looks like they're starting to dig the old Sphinxy out. That must be Napoleon, right? Oh, that's right, he didn't exist. These two are going, yes, look, I told you it had a body. And again, we can see these extra pyramids up near the Great Pyramid. And again, another 4th pyramid in the background. Curiouser and curiouser. So is there another star in Orion's belt that would match up with? Because isn't it all Orion's belt?
As I show right here, actually, now that you bring that up, with the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex, they actually have all of the different stars in Orion's constellation. So depending where the proximity of how far away that 4th pyramid is to the first 3, it could potentially be this one, or, you know, one of the others. So who knows? You might find under those sand dunes the entire constellation, just like the Grand Canyon. Who knows?
Exactly right. And look, it looks like there's a door exposed on this one. People trying to get in. So this is the Grand Pyramid sunrise. And of course, we can see the sun rising there between the pyramids. Is that the same picture? Okay, again, showing, so the 1700s, showing, you know, some of the destruction of what they actually found when they turned up. Because that's the thing, like this obviously sat there for a while in ruins because, you know, if people were living here, they would have been using all these resources, right? Well, just massive chunks of rock everywhere. You can see the size of the people compared to the blocks here. And the pyramid's looking pretty raggedy. Look at this one. Not looking too good at all. And this one's still got some of the casing stones on it.
Yeah,
look, it's even got a capstone.
Looks a little bit, yeah, more together than it is today.
That could be the middle one. Maybe this is the edge of the great one. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, look at the size of these blocks, man. They're huge, right? They're just like rolling all over the ground. Which is probably why they haven't been moved, right? Because they're too big. And happy solstice to everyone who's watching. Here's Sphinxy again, of course. He got done, as did many of the statues and, you know, busts and etc. They all got their noses ripped off for some reason. And they say that this is staring at Leo 12,500 years ago on the on the solstice. I think on the solstice.
Yeah, and or the equinoxes, one or the other.
Or is it the equinox? Yeah, one of them. Yeah, one of them. So there you go. And as we know, yeah, he was buried in the 1700s up to his neck, and they had to dig him out. Or her, or they, them. You know, I don't want to assume gender. That would be racist. Oh, he looks a bit,
especially
no,
for
I think I offended him. Look at the eyes.
a cat man or potentially dog man, as some claim.
Yeah. I was just thinking, he must be a Furby. Is that what they call them? Those people who think they're animals?
Right? Could be.
I've definitely shocked him. Look at the eyes.
That's for the New Year's stream, though.
He's like, what the hell? I feel misgendered. And here we have, oh, okay. This is obviously from inside when they got inside. Brought their ladder. And this dude's climbing up with his candle. Wow, man, imagine like busting into the pyramids. I mean, the first one's in there in a long time. That would be pretty cool. So here we have a map. So here's that doorway we saw. This is where they actually got in. That's still there today. They're just sort of showing how accurate it is. Geometrically, they've only shown 4 sides. Of course, the Great Pyramid is actually 8-sided, if you didn't know. And here
Indeed,
are the...
and today is
chambers.
one of the only days of the year that it actually shows it very clearly being 8-sided is during the the solstice.
Oh, there you go. So, King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber, also they say. I mean, and that in itself is sexist. I think we need to cancel Egypt because, you know, you can't put a man above a woman. God, that's sexist, man. I think we need to review history. And here's some more of the construction. Just showing, it's just rough blocks. You know, we're told it had this casing stone on it. Maybe it did. And just tunnels and things. Again, more elevations. Not sure what this is. It's a bit of a pagoda. Maybe trying to theorize how it was built. Who knows? But I think this is the end of the book. Okay, we've got some pictures from inside. How did they do? These are pretty good, you know, representations, aren't they? Of the pictures they found inside. Who drew these? They're very, very well done. Oh, is that a giant? Ooh,
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them carved throughout those Egyptian pyramids.
What? These dudes are stone beaters or something. Oh, got some music going on. Some flutes. Feeding the cows. Oh, these guys are about to throw. I think they're having a pillow fight. Come on, I'm going to eat you first. Wee-hee. And there you go, the daily life of an Egyptian. Clearly, we can see all the tech and tools that they've got to build pyramids. So clearly they built the pyramids. Undoubtedly.
Copper chisels. No, it was more likely
Copper chisels, man.
with geopolymer.
Geopolymer. Are they trying to put this man into the geopolymer? What is going on there? Maybe he's just like learning to do the splits. Like, hold on, we'll just like take the poles apart. You'll be doing Van Damme splits before you know it. This guy's tackling a very large bull.
Bull rider.
All right, man. Yeah, right. That's the Egyptians, man. They invented the rodeo. People at the markets. Oh, what's he trying to do? Dude, what is your hand doing? That's a bit...
Milking. That
That's
is
not
milking.
Oh, milking. Okay, milking. Yeah, we'll call it milking. Utterly ridiculous, I say. And some elevations, which would be interesting to someone. No doubt. And some weird pictures. That is interesting, isn't it?
That looks like some
Looks
sort of like
pistons or
energy
something.
processing unit, like out of a hydroelectric dam or like a power plant. Like those are interesting schematics right there.
Here we have wheels, driving wheels. So clearly it's getting spun around this middle bit. And then up here we have, I don't know, picture of something. What does it say? The plain of Koubé. So I guess, again, this is French, 1700s. So this is the whole Napoleon in Egypt sort of story with his armies. This is no doubt. Is that him? Is that Napoleon? What do you think? Could be.
Could be. Look at those hats.
Drinking and riding.
There
Oh my God, dude. That's no good. One hump or two. Oh, these camels. Been seeing lots of camels lately. Camels are everywhere.
Camel raiders.
Oh, and snakes. The vipers. So I think it just gets into sort of, boring stuff now. So there we go. Some pictures of the pyramids back in the day in the 1700s, showing a few extra pyramids and an extra sphinx maybe. So I thought you were searching furiously for videos of people who've been in the second sphinx, Bernie.
I found
and you're on your phone.
No,
you did. Good.
don't you worry. I got it. I wouldn't not do that. Here we go.
First, if this is the one you saw, then we'll play the bribe security guard one after. Bribe and guards.
Cat.
Is it loading?
Inside the second Sphinx of Egypt. Wow.
Find out and see.
There you go, guys. I don't know about the second Sphinx.
So a lot of historians in our history books would teach us that the Sphinx was built around, I think it was around 3,500 years ago by the ancient Egyptians. However, there's a lot of upcoming evidence that prove, or that I don't want to say proves, but it shines a light on a different age that the Sphinx was supposedly built. First thing you'll realize right behind me is not necessarily on the Sphinx itself, but on the enclosure around it is evidence of water erosion. Now, where that comes from is, especially in this case here, is from heavy rainfall over long periods of time. And if you look at the history of ancient Egypt, the last time we saw any evidence of heavy rainfall was around the time of over 10,000 years ago.
Got an ad coming up, Burn.
When it comes to trimming your balls, you got
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah, you can actually probably skip ahead a good 5 to 7 minutes because he's got to evade being seen. While
it was an old ad. We're in the ad matrix. In the new year, there will be no ads as I get YouTube Premium to screw the ads and finally download off of YouTube.
Looks like this guy might be trying to take my same approach.
Oh, if you do want your balls shaved, there's an affiliate link below.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I'm completely hit.
That's a sexist product.
All right, so clearly, like, this shit is suppressed there and hidden, and he's sneaking in.
Way over here.
So this is it?
Hey, guys.
There we go. That's it. The second pyramid.
This is the
second Sphinx.
Second Sphinx. Whether
And
this
look at all the
entire
underground like entrances
fence
into it. It
itself,
was like a
I'm
building
not too
almost,
sure.
and who knows how
But
deep it goes.
you can definitely tell it's got a
Wow.
similar structure to the Sphinx. Let's go around and see if we can get it. See, there's barbed wire here, but let's see.
There's only one rusty piece of barbed wire. That wasn't very good security, was it?
This, wow.
What?
Yeah, that's
Oh, dude, it's just
fascinating as all hell. And that there's
right.
actually chambers within it too. That would mean that there's probably
Doorway.
similar sort of structures and
Yeah.
chambers within the original.
Types of stones that appear
Oh, air vents.
different, appear to be cut in slabs of some sort. This is the front of it. And again, if there was any sort of head or face, it's long gone, which is why there's such conspiracy behind this and such skepticism, and understandably so. It's very hard to tell if this actually is a second Sphinx, but still we have, as you saw, a Sphinx-like.
Oh, I'm showing off
object in
my
the back.
non-vaccination
Just, from the
card
front, you can't
in
really
an
tell
old
anything.
stream, but I still got it. Still haven't been
And you
vaxxed.
have these
Still got
super
my
finely
control
cut
group
stones
card.
again, which is just it's such a wonder every time.
Don't tell
see
Gene
this-
Simmons you haven't been
these
back.
hieroglyphics
He'll get quite angry at you.
here. What is this one? I have no idea.
He wants to rock and roll all night and then do whatever the government says.
Praying, maybe even
So
just a human
cool.
praying to something.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Hieroglyphs.
Takes my breath every time I see stuff like that. Still gives me flashbacks to Fort McHenry in Baltimore too, for some reason.
Oh wow. It's a little open.
Really?
Looks like there is a
That's
gate
pretty
though,
crazy.
but this
Just has that ancient
gate is
feeling.
open. Above me, it's all gated off as well.
I know what you mean on that, right? Just certain places, it's like no, this is not what they're saying it is. It's ancient as fuck. It's man-made. Like,
That
come on.
actually might be the way around.
For
from
real.
what I saw it might link up to here, but now it looks like it goes inward. So, whoa. All these hieroglyphics.
Hey, Stellium7, Mike, man, good to see you. Austin Shamble yesterday. I'm looking forward. We
That's
gotta
how
talk
old it
because
was.
lots of my electronics in the
It's very confusing hearing you talk from months ago.
It
wow.
truly is. And
Isn't it
looking
confusing
for
having
Mike
two
in the
Bernies on at once? All right,
okay,
so
sure.
that is some footage of the second Sphinx at the Giza pyramids. Here's the second
Giza
person
Plateau.
video of it.
Wow, that's just. So what else is out there that they don't tell us about? Hey, lots. I mean, you know,
Right?
what Paul
Exactly.
Cook's
Like
been-
this is literally hidden on the Giza plateau next to the world famous Sphinx. They're able to cover up that there's a second one, and probably they cover it up
Yeah.
because it's so freaking hollow, and they don't want people going into the first one and knowing that it's that hollow as well.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the thing, right? Cover that up with dirt, put a few plants on it, and it's the same thing that Paul Cook's been looking at, right? There's all these doorways everywhere. I mean, we just don't know what's under the ground, what's been buried.
And when we see this Sphinx, how eroded it is, it's not blocks. It looks like it's one giant geopolymer structure.
This one here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anywho, That's enough out of that one.
There you go.
We are 1 hour in, so I need to do a quick bathroom break. Do you want to cover something quickly, or should I try to find something else to play for a few minutes?
I don't know. I'm sure that there's something I can play. Let me have a look. What's it called? Second. Do we want to have another look at this second Sphinx?
Sure, definitely. Let's verify that.
Let's have a quick look and see the lost second Sphinx of Giza.
Oh my
How did I miss
goodness!
this?
There potentially, because one Sphinx is on one side of the pyramids, one on the other. Is it known if the sun sets on one of the Sphinxes or rises on one of the Sphinxes? Because if that's possible, then it might do the opposite on the other one.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking, like, with one on each side, it'd almost be like the Ark of the Covenant, you know, with the two birds it has pointing out, you know, are they energy spark gap things?
Good point. Good question.
Wow. All right, let's have another look. I've got another video here of the second Sphinx. Let's check it out. And BurnEye shall be back, and we've got about 8 minutes. So here we go. I'll turn the volume up. I showed a video on a stream yesterday, and apparently it was muted the whole time. So 200 people sat there and watched the silent video, which was awesome.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm the Great Sphinx, and probably
I hear the sound.
Out River Nile. But that video didn't consider the hypothesis that was put forward in recent years by Dr. Raida Abdul Halim, in that there could still be the remains of a second Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. It is a claim that Dr. Raida has written a paper about, and he presented his ideas in 2016 at the International Scientific Conference in Egypt. I had previously looked at this hypothesis and dismissed it, but I thought it was worth revisiting Dr. Raida's ideas because, second Sphinx or not, the structure in question looks to date back to pre-dynastic times and is therefore an important piece of evidence when researching the true origins of the Giza monuments. So, what is the claim? Well, it centres on this limestone rock formation about 250 metres from the Great Sphinx, and adjacent to the tomb of Kenkaway, which I've discussed in some detail in another recent video. Only one side of this second Sphinx is visible. The other side is either buried by hardened sand or wasn't carved from the bedrock in the first place. I always thought that this claim by Dr. Raida was quite a stretch, but maybe I was a little too hasty to judge. As you can see from this picture, the proposed head is heavily eroded and damaged, but you can't help but see some similarity between this and the Great Sphinx. Although I'm not yet convinced, for clarity for the rest of this video, I will be referring to this rock formation as the second Sphinx, and I will give my own opinion on whether or not I think it could be at the end of this video. As we all know, the Great Sphinx is a statue that looks like a lion or possibly a jackal with a human head carved into the limestone bedrock. Some believe that the Sphinx was once coated in plaster and covered with paint. The latter hypothesis is certainly true, as it is recorded in various historical accounts, and you can still see the remains of colour near one of the ears. Both Sphinxes are located on the west bank of the River Nile, with the Great Sphinx on the north side of the Khafre Pyramid Causeway next to the Valley Temple and the Sphinx Temple. The second Sphinx is also located next to an important structure, the so-called Tomb of Kenkaway, which I certainly don't believe was a dynastic pyramidal structure for a queen, as we are led to believe. But there is a road from the second Sphinx that, like the Great Sphinx, also leads to the Pyramid of Khafre. The Great Sphinx and the second one do share some similarities. The first structure is roughly 73.5 meters long, whilst the second is 71.5. The height of the highest part of the head is 20 meters on both, and the paws of the Great Sphinx are 20 meters long, whilst on the second Sphinx they are 15 meters. These measurements are certainly similar, especially as both have been subjected to large amounts of erosion. Like the Great Sphinx, the second one is also carved from one single block of bedrock limestone. And while Dr. Rader believes it was carved into the shape that we see, others believe it is a mere coincidence and is just the remains of a quarry that was used to cut limestone for the construction of tombs that we find around the Giza Plateau. But is this really just a coincidence? Dr. Rader thinks not. The dream stealer that we find stood between the paws of the Great Sphinx certainly shows two sphinxes facing opposite directions, and Rader's second sphinx is looking west and not east, like the Great Sphinx. Of course, we don't know if historically the dream stealer is recording two actual physical sphinx monuments, but if it is, there are not many candidates for a second one, unless of course it has been eroded or quarried away. In the body of the second sphinx formation, there are 10 holes or entrances, and at least some are certainly ancient doorways into the structure. Dr. Rader covered many of them with iron gates to stop people entering and possibly damaging the interior. Inside the second sphinx structure, he discovered unexcavated pits filled with sand, long rooms with side doors, corridors, and amazingly, there are possibly 2 wells. Stones line the area around one of them to cover cracks and openings, and Dr. Rader surmises that due to this, the excavations into the structure are clearly ancient. What I learned when researching the so-called tomb of Kenkaway is that this structure was purposely separated from the bedrock second sphinx formation on its northern side. The corridor that was formed between the Kenkaway tomb and the second sphinx is certainly created by people and not nature, and you can watch my previous video to find out more. On the northern face of the Kenkaway tomb, we see undeniable proof of rainwater erosion, which dates the creation of the tomb of Kenkaway to be pre-dynastic and synonymous with the age of the Sphinx enclosure and the perimeter wall of the Khafre pyramid, which are also badly eroded by rainfall. We know that we haven't seen this amount of rainfall in Egypt for many thousands of years, and therefore the Sphinx enclosure, the Khafre pyramid wall, and the tomb of Kenkaway must be at least 7,000 to 10,000 years old. And the second Sphinx formation, we can see high levels of wind erosion and weathering patterns, but if we look close enough, we can see the remnants of vertical gullies, rain erosion, although the desert winds have removed much of the detail. I'm in no doubt that this second Sphinx formation is as ancient as its Great Sphinx counterpart. But is it really a second Sphinx? Well, personally, I don't think that it is, and I think this claim by Dr. Rader is simply a way to commercialize his research to gain extra interest and also possibly funding. I personally don't see a great resemblance to the Great Sphinx, and to me, from aerial pictures, its northern side is still fully connected to the bedrock. I don't think that it is compacted sand as he thinks it might be, but of course I cannot know this for sure. It could be an abandoned construction project, but for me, that doesn't seem very in keeping with the rest of Giza. But not being a Sphinx shouldn't disappoint us too much, due to the fact that there are unexcavated internal chambers in this rock formation, and because it displays weathering patterns similar to other truly ancient pre-dynastic Giza structures, I do think that further investigation is necessary.
Oh, there you go. What did you think about that? Second pyramid or second Sphinx? Do you think it's a second Sphinx? Guess we need more boots on the ground out there, right? A bit more excavation work, but that's interesting. I never knew that was out there. All right, who have we got here? Why was 10,000 years always? What about the Great Flood? A few thousand? Yeah. They always say, you know, the rain on the Sphinx. It was 10,000 years ago. But I showed some maps the other day that show that there was water all throughout Barbaria. Oh my gosh, BurnEye seems to be tuning in from a blizzard. What's going on? How do I make that bigger? What do I do? that one. All right, Burn, if you're talking, we can't hear you. We can see a few lights.
Muted
There
in
we
the
go.
absolute cold. It's like it's sucking all of the energy out. It's just crazy when it's this cold.
Man. Looks very still.
But the snow cracks.
Oh, that's snow. Wow.
And it is snowing right now a little bit.
Snow doesn't burn, does it?
Through electrolysis it does.
On fire.
When you turn it into H2 or HHO or hydrogen and oxygen, it does. And what's crazy?
So what happens to all your experiments? They all freeze?
They are frozen on the catalyst side. It focuses like the metal going down. There's a little white bubbling, and it's actually melting and still producing hydrogen off of the frozen ice block.
Oh, why?
Which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is frozen solid.
Wow. You need a heater for your lab, mate, and a wall would maybe help keep the cold up.
The tent isn't so great in the winter.
So it's an actual tent, is it? Yeah, right.
Yeah, my old vending tent, right? Some of the girls left over from the vending days.
There you go. Some t-shirts, girls, if you're after a t-shirt.
They're
in contact with BurnEye.
Pretty frozen, so I promise to dress them all soon.
Yeah, man, they look freezing. God.
Indeed. Absolutely. Frozen. They'll shatter. But since it's Pyramid Day, I figured I'm just going to mute myself out quickly as I go back inside, but show some of the pyramid paintings.
Right. Pyramid paintings? Do I have pyramid paintings? Okay. Pyramid paintings. Pyramid paintings. I have no idea what he was talking about. What else do I have here? Well, we can have a look at the Googles, right? We have up here, is that in the right spot? Oh, we're sideways. I think that's China down there. Russia. What have we got? Oh, that's a wall. China's over here more, isn't it? There we go. Pyramids in China. Many pyramids in China. And of course, most of these, they've been covered with dirt and plants and things. So you can see one here. If Google decides to buffer, there you go, 4-pointed pyramid. Just sitting in the middle of some farmland. And no, there must be some more in this area somewhere, because up here there's lots of them. And again, be interesting to see if it lays out to a star system, like a constellation. Come on, Google. So this is the tomb of Empress Zhu, apparently. And of course, they tell us that all pyramids are temples, right? There it is, flat top. But none of them are. And look, here's another look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pyramids.
Right in these clusters. And one thing Amber always brings up when we talk about these is the amount of mercury, liquid mercury, that these are found in with the emperors or the tombs of some of the mummies or just remains, especially of the Chinese pyramids as well as the Mexican ones. And that's like the process, how intense, like how did they figure out to be processing that much from the ore of mercury into the liquid mercury at that time, right? Like it's pretty intense process.
Yeah. That's what you should call your alchemy. Intense alchemy, because you're in a tent.
That's
there it is.
some
Okay,
great spell casting.
Intense.
Yeah,
hand.
look at them all there. Several with the flat
Where's
tops.
This one? Oh, there. Yeah, flat tops. My height's elevation, it's on 0. It doesn't change. It doesn't tell me.
Doesn't want to work for
us. It's not my
us.
fault when I think things are top. It doesn't want to work. Here's another one. It's interesting how they're all flat tops, like the more sort of South American looking.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, there's just heaps of them. Look at them all. There's everywhere. Another few clusters up here. Some cloud going on there, but there's a big pyramid under. Let's see if we can change.
Also, like lots of the South American ones, these ones are made of earth layers and then probably geopolymer outer layer. It's very similar to what Samo Zvanovic has found with the Bosnian pyramids.
Yeah.
And they try to claim them as mounds, but it, how many times, how is this just pareidolia? How are they all just mounds when you find them, when they're all aligned to the stars and they have crazy balls and
crazy balls? Oh, maybe they need that ball shaver we saw before for their crazy balls.
They're stone balls. They're something seeds.
Balls.
Who knows? Leftover remnants from the Titan megafauna.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of people think that they're nuts or seeds or something. There's even a few more out here. So there's tons. All these. This is just one little spot in China, and of course in China there could be heaps more.
With pyramids throughout all of the valley.
What do we got here? Tomb of okay, maybe this is just a tomb. Maybe it's not a pyramid.
And everything's terraced, though. Look at how that entire mountain area is terraced, and there's so much terraces throughout the Asia, China areas. And then you find that same stuff throughout South America, especially up in the ancient mountains of Peru and Bolivia and whatnot. And they claim that it's from past civilizations, like at least a few thousand years old. And it's probably pre-cataclysm of Atlantean 12,000 or 24,000 years sort of thing. But it's the same culture that terraformed Asia, maybe, but Asia kind of survived and kept using this area, staying inhabited, where it turned into more desert throughout the Peruvian spots, well, as well as Africa too, like Egypt and stuff.
So where is Cairo? God, it doesn't. Google Earth. Buffer faster. Should be just about here somewhere, shouldn't it? Pyramids. Oh my God. Embarrassing. All right, let's go. Giza.
There we go. Where the Suez meets the Nile.
I'm guessing this is the pyramid complex. Oh, there's that it. All right. We're still not there. Where are you, pyramids? Oh my God.
They're behind Cairo, back towards the desert, sort of thing. On the
Sort of out here, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, just off the Nile.
Gosh. But they've stolen the pyramids, man. Okay, here we go. Great Pyramid.
Pyramids got seriously mud flooded, aka sandstorms, aka did an ocean
Okay, so
wash
you've got
over?
these 3 smashed up pyramids. A few out the front. So there seems to be a lot missing from this picture. Like in that video we were just watching, it was showing, I mean, look, you can see these lines. It was showing all these buildings. And they're all sort of covered up. Let's see. We'll change the historical image and see what happens. Not much better. Satellites don't work that well in Egypt. But I mean, look at this. See how they've just cut this line in here? And what are these? What are these? What are these?
Giant beams from being washed away, or
what the hell? That's just weird. So there you go. That's our circuit board. This is a bunch of tombs, apparently. So they say. So we have pyramids everywhere. The interesting thing about the one with Graham Hancock that's built from basalt, pyramids Indonesia. Why is there no? Is Nan Madol, right? Is in that region, and it's made out of basalt as well. That's all down sort of.
Nan Madol is one giant terraformed pentagon of a star fort.
It is. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. But Indonesia. Do you remember what that pyramid's called?
I was trying to remember it at the start of the stream. Oh God!
It's got a funny name.
Can't play Graham Hancock, or we'll get striked for being racist, right? Oh dear, Campbell, is that what's going to happen next?
I know, right? We're going to be racist because history's racist, of course. I think we all know that. And the amount of gender assuming that goes on, I mean, gosh, we should all be ashamed of ourselves. Okay, so Indonesia pyramid. It just doesn't want to give me anything. Great Pyramid of Giza. Oh no, Joseph, that's Egypt as well. Oh, here we go. Now it's decided to work. Pyramid of Oh, here we go. We got some pyramids.
Guang Padang. Guang Padang is what Graham Hancock's one is called. G-U-A-N-G. Oh, sorry. G-U-N-U-N-G. G-U-N-U-N-G. Gunung. Gunung. There we go. Gunung Padang Pyramid. P-E Dang. Gunung Padang Pyramid. This is the crazy basalt one.
It's actually the Wisata Sitas Gunung Padang. So
there we go.
I better put out.
We learn something new every day.
All right, what's it called? This one. All right, so there it is. Not looking that pyramidy. Not very good.
It's a crazy step pyramid, and it's also a mountain pyramid that's been built up over several layers. and that they've
it kind of steps up and keeps going up, doesn't it? All right, so here's some of the basalt. So it's good for these basalt logs. There's thousands of them everywhere, apparently. You can just see they're all strewn about, buried in the ground. Look at them all. So definitely, you know, there's something man-made here. And this is the one where the government actually stopped the research, didn't they? They got all annoyed when they found out it was older than it should be.
Yes, sir. They tried shutting it down a few times, and Graham Hancock, he actually has done really good work on the site. Keep going back. I think they did like intense LiDAR on it. They found that there was like inner chambers and like the oldest inner parts of the pyramid with like something still running in it, I believe. And that's when it really got shut down. And then the Indonesian government made some like horror movie out of the pyramid or something, and then like nothing has been really done on it since until Graham Hancock came out on Netflix with another episode on it, but it doesn't go nearly as deep into the mysteries of it. And it's the same basalt, right? And that makes up the majority of this overall structure mountain pyramid. And like there's like several thick layers of that between it, supposedly, and then a bit of like soil or something, and then more layers of that same basalt built within, and then tunnels going throughout and inner chambers. But what was the other island? Mangpadang or no? I've got it. Nanpadol. Nanpadol, and it's the entire island is made of this basalt. And it looks like it's terraformed like on the largest scale. It blows my mind every time.
So where are we? We're upside down. So Nanmadol, is that it there? Yeah. So it's off the coast a little bit.
Yeah, and look at that. It's a giant pentagram island. Like, how does that happen? And completely made out of the basalt. It's several star forts within star forts. This entire island is most likely artificial.
Yeah. And still got some constructions. We can see we've got remnants of canals and stuff in here. I think there's another one down here. As you can see, canals. You know, and you can see this sort of star shape going around here as well. Kind of familiar. Man-made islands. You can see like a rectangle here. You see all these indentations, lines under the water, and this structure literally goes into the water. It sort of starts on land and just goes into the water. But like Bernie said, the whole thing. Oh my God, Google, what did you do to my picture?
And supposedly it's like it's
man-made.
Man-made, and it's documented that it's ancient man-made. It's like literally one of the ancient wonders of the world, isn't it? Like it's
I don't know. Look at this. Is that Pohnpei? Very similar to Pompeii. So yeah, and there is people do live here. There's a little. So maybe we should go out on a holiday, man. That'd be a cool place to go, wouldn't it?
We definitely have to go and do a stream from this island.
Yeah, man, that would be cool. Who knows what else is around there? Because as you can see, it's pretty uninhabited. It's just this, and it's in the tropics. It looks quite nice, but
right? It's
very
got all
remote,
the walls,
right?
retaining walls.
Right, look at it. But you can see this rim, this edge of what was probably are we in the Atlantic, maybe, or
Lemuria. Exactly, outer edge of Lemuria.
And then there's this atoll. Is this the one? No, You know that atoll that we found, that tiny weird one?
Yeah, right. There's a few of them
it's
around there in this area.
Yeah, I was watching this video by Dave Weiss, and he was saying that the biggest ship in the world was registered to that funny little atoll. This isn't it. This is another strange little island. Adamstown. Adam and Eve, anyone? I thought I'd marked it, but there's this funny little atoll. It's going to be hard to find now, but there's literally no one there, and apparently, the biggest ship in the world is registered to it. And
talk about a shell company.
Yes, and someone just gave them like $10 billion, and it's literally this, that's just got a couple of hundred natives living there, as far as I know. Now I want to find it, but it could take ages.
Are we talking Diego Garcia? Dear Diego Garcia, can we bring that one up?
That could be it.
Or will this thing be shut down for talking about Diego? The dirty Diego MH370. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, no, this isn't the right spot. Oh, that's a very similar one, though. Maybe that is it. Maybe I was in the wrong ocean. Oh, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, that's pretty remote. Pretty much bang in the middle. But, yeah, this is it. And check this place out, man. Like, it's literally just a strip of sand, right? Going around. There's a few settlements, but mainly it's just this big airport and like a bit of who knows what they're storing there. And like, they got their docks and that built up. And then apart from that, there's just a yacht club, a little end for the rich people. And then I guess the natives live around on this strip somewhere.
And they've booted most of them off, I think. They transferred them to other islands.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so I wonder who they gave the $10 billion to then.
That's like a golf course now. Military golf course on the atoll. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is it's like this is some of like today's most modern built terraformed military islands, like defense best humanity can do conditions. And then you look at some of the ancient star fort cities that are all like built also out in the sea, needing the same sort of, or like coasts and also islands and everything. And just the amount, how did they do it back when they claim that they were built? It's impossible. That they're better built islands and bases and structures from the past than what we can do today.
And just everywhere. What's this? It's out in the middle of nowhere again. Buried star, maybe. So nothing that good there, but yeah, this is the thing. I mean, this island's got man-made canals on it too, by the way. But we find this all on these remote islands out in the middle of nowhere. So, the previous, this civilization that we're tracking was clearly, a maritime, civilization. And here's this star fort. And what do you think? Is this, could be a star fort, or it could be, a dam maybe? But it's got the star fort petals
battery
on it.
shape right there. That's the battery imprint.
Yeah. Oh, wow, man, what happened there? So yeah, that's pretty star looking.
One Love
in
Ross,
Australia.
happy holiday.
Got something.
Where in Australia is this? Is this inner Australia or on the coast somewhere?
In WA, in the middle of the desert. Well, not that middle, but there. It's pretty.
Still, like, what the double? Like, why? How? No. Inmates built that.
No, I mean, and you can see this is WA. This is the landscape of 90% of WA. It's just this destroyed, burnt out, scorched desert. Yeah, like we've literally got this little bit the southwest, that little green bit, which is really nice, but that's literally it. Out of the whole state, look at it. It's just like all just destroyed. So lots of mining going on, but not much else.
Right, like
it's just crazy, isn't it? Not much snow. Right, so that's Australia. So you can see, like, literally, there's just this little green patch around the edge, and that's it. So I think what is it? 90% of Australians live within an hour from the coast or something.
I believe that. That's almost, I think it's 85% like as the global average. So 90% would make sense there too. Because look, like all these inner lands are all uninhabitable, scorched, covered up. Yet the ancient maps all had them with built up cities, rivers, and civilizations.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just see something just ripped straight through the middle here, right up to the top of Russia. Big scar.
I was wearing my pyramid hat today. Shout out to Grassroots California, my buddy Max, and does all the goods.
Nice.
Now I'm back to being my regular self of a man-bear unicorn. I am a man-bear unicorn.
Man-bear unicorn. Wow. A man-bearicon. A man-burnicon.
Man-burnicon.
There we go. Man-burnicon. All righty. So 285 of you still watching. Thank you all for being here. Hope you're enjoying our little romp around the world and looking at pyramids. Hope you're enjoying your solstice, your longest day or your shortest day, whichever it is. And we're close to Christmas.
Southern and northern.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes. Oh, J Dreamers. There's J Dreamers in here. Hello, J Dreamers, if you're in here. Oh my God, I'm so far behind comments. I do that all the time. So
right.
Mention J Dreamers.
Close to 300 people.
He's got a good channel. He does some really good live streams. Yeah, almost 300 of you still watching. Man, Burnicorn. Unicorns do not have wings. Well, I mean, that's just Pegasusist.
Pegasusist. Man, guy. And for the little Christmas present sent by Sister Sherry Ives, little burger with some chocolate inside.
Some chocolate. Of course it's chocolate. All right. So have we got anything else we want to go over, Mr. BurnEye? Thank you. I am Kairos. Another good channel. If you haven't checked out I am Kairos, go and check him out.
Absolutely.
Got some good walkarounds.
Okay, I do have.
It's an
James Green, 10 euros.
Oh, thank you very much, James Green. We appreciate your support. Do you have a server to load and upload? Do you have a like our own? You mean? No, we don't.
I think it can be done in Discord, and I'm thinking, does Zertus do that? And I need to talk to him.
Yeah, Zertus was
all that out.
Yeah.
2023, we're going to be getting that.
Look into that because I lost heaps of stuff. Actually, I've still got to see if I can recover it, but yeah, I lost so much stuff. If it was be good if it was back up somewhere.
I've got a new solid state hard drive that I've started downloading and backing up the different videos.
How big is that? How big is it? How many bytes?
2 terabytes, I think, maybe, or maybe more. I don't know. I have to ask my dad.
Mine's like about 4 times that big.
It might be bigger. I'm not sure. I could be off. I'm pretty stoned. I have to ask my dad. Andreas Certis. I do real science with him. We've done a few episodes together with you and Andreas now. He'll probably be a part of the Christmas special. Also, Christmas special, going to have Arduino, probably Stellium 7. We will.
Paul Cook is
Eagle, Paul Cook. We got to reach out to Paul. What the Flock TV. Hopefully, we can also have Paul on. And
I was thinking Paul. I've sent a message to UAP, and I haven't sent one to Martin. So UAP
perfect.
He's in. He just wants to know times. So because of the times, and we're all on different times, we'll probably start it more like in the evening Australia time, because that'll be the morning America, and that way we can kind of roll it through, start off with Australian people and Europe, and then get into the Americans once they're all awake. And so I guess we'll sort of go Christmas afternoon into the night, and
sir,
have a big bash.
And also confirmed we will have Salnazor Stalin, aka Global Vision, joining us from the current land of Tartaria, and I'll play. Here's a couple of videos he sent me of work of blowing Antiquitech old runes, getting some plasma images, reactions on film, and they're all in Russian, so I could just have it on silent while we skip through some. Look at that.
So he got kicked off, basically.
Shout out to just Stokes. He does so much boots on the ground, just like Paul. Sorry, what was that, Campbell?
He got kicked off YouTube, off the English YouTube, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he?
He was saying that, he wasn't allowed to go on his English channel anymore or something like that.
Which is a pity, because he was doing some
definitely
really
want
good
to talk
stuff.
to him about that, because absolutely epic. And like, look at these layers of like massive megalithic pyramid layering, essentially terraforming of wherever this is in Russia, Siberia, somewhere. But showing the polygonal styles. Also, most likely going to be geopolymer built pyramid styles. Cyclopean, some call it.
That would be cool.
Yeah, he's already confirmed he'll come on the Christmas team at some point. So we got.
Oh, he's going to come on that as well. Awesome.
He will be on.
So we're going to have to do up some kind of.
He's confirmed for Christmas.
Because we have to give people times, or else we're going to end up with
100%.
20 people on at once, and then a blank screen for 3 hours. So yes, happy Christmas.
We will make it work and start getting time confirmed.
We will. How deep are the foundations? Not sure. Is he in the Ural Mountains? Do you know? So I know there's a lot of stuff like that up in the mountains, but
not sure. It's the frame I'm watching now, so we are muted and got to get it translated. But he speaks English fluently, quite well, and also communicates through English email quite extremely well as well. There we go. Thank you, Hippie Shake. And so
there you go.
This is some really good boots on the ground sort of stuff.
Yeah, it'd be good to get him and Mr. Cook in a chat.
Right. Well, maybe it will happen on Christmas.
I don't have Discord, if someone asks. Yeah, no, I don't. I did try it at one point, and Discord's very confusing. And I've also just got too many things. I can't even get to the social media I've got. So I'm refusing to start anything else.
Indeed. But if you, the Xertus Discord community is a good one, and we will be building it up, and 2023 we should be able to get it all going together.
Yeah, exactly. Just let's use ones that are already there and already built up and doing the good stuff. Can you read me now, Burns?
Daniel Foster, how are you, brother? Sorry, I have not been paying attention to the comments. We love you, Daniel. How are you? How are your we can see now, my friend. I think it was you trying to email me from the phone text thing, Dan. It wasn't opening on my old phone still. I am on my new laptop. It's working very well, and thank you everybody that had pitched in for that. I'm going to, on Christmas, come the Christmas stream, I will be using my Samsung 20 because that's the one gift that all of you pitched in to get for me that I'll open on Christmas, and then we'll get that supposed 100x quality film from it that will be interesting going forward.
All right. Good on you guys. Now we have a BurnEye that has computers. We can do more things. And it's a laptop, right? So you can take it when you go traveling.
The laptop, and then the Galaxy Samsung 20 that has the 100x zoom or whatever the heck on it. So I'll be interested.
What is that?
But I'm going to be
a phone, is it?
Yeah, it's a super new phone that has
yeah.
crazy camera stuff on it that I haven't opened it or used it either because I don't have a case for it yet, and I want to be very, very careful with it, sort of thing. I have a couple friends that have the same things.
It's all fun and games until you drop them, right? It's such a scam. They make a product that costs you $1,500. You drop it once and it can be like worth nothing. It's like, come on.
All right, not that wasn't the video I was expecting. Oh, right, I can go like this. Let's see what else he sent.
Oh.
So these sort of runes and footage is fascinating because this is the original, like, hard iron copper, most likely plasma, more magnetic induction electrical systems that were built into these cathedrals and overall buildings, and that would have been charged from the atmospheric antiquitech most likely. And this is what he's getting footage of still working on some of it. So hopefully we find it while the last 10 minutes or so of the stream today.
Yeah.
Well, don't you worry, Ben. There will be more pyramid episodes to come because we could probably do a 24-hour straight on pyramids. There's so much, but not today.
Yeah. And there's a few videos on my channel about pyramids, the Chinese pyramids, a few other bits and pieces on pyramids. You fun dark journalist. Oh.
Yes, you have good, both on Autodidactic 1 and Autodidactic 2. You've got probably like 50 videos between the two on pyramids, I'd say.
Yeah, there's yes, probably lots of stuff. So yeah, this is Tartaria. Literally, he's in Tartaria, showing all the stuff.
Exactly. The area of the maps called the Tartaria, the real Tartaria tech, the existing antiquitech. Like, look at these things. It's like, well, keep the soul alive. Who knows? Transfer over. Interesting.
They definitely have much more of an
also,
emphasis on death,
2023. we'll end it with a little bit of spooky paranormal happening with real science. Charlie C. and the device he's built, the communicator, the transdimensional communicator that he built, that was built off the designs that were channeled from channeled through a group of channels from I think it was Ben Edison's design or something. One of the geniuses of past channeled it through. Charlie built it, sent it back, and now it's working. And now he's going to be building more, and it's going to be interesting.
Basically, talking to the ether, right? To spirit beings is what they're doing, and he's built some communication device. But apparently, it's got a lot to do with the energy. Like he said that it's only working for this group of people because they've been working together for years and years, and so I don't think it's the kind of thing that you can just grab one and start sort of, randomly dialing up spirits and stuff. But
yes, exactly.
Very interesting, right?
Your body
very interesting. Imagine that. Wasn't that in The Doors with Andy Warhol? And he got a telephone. He's like, someone gave me a telephone and they told me I could talk to God, but I don't have anything to say.
That looks so
wow. That looks like a Christian cross, and definitely religious is what that looks like.
That looks like a fractal array antenna, but yes, it will be good.
Still sitting up there. So that's the thing. There's countries where they haven't been, stripped back as much. In Australia and the US and Canada, like the buildings have been so stripped. But in some of these, older countries or more or less, what do you call them? First world.
The oldest graves, the graveyard estates. They all have like little pyramid, and the Michelle Gibson has done lots of videos on that too. I think you've done a couple too as well, haven't you?
And stuff, and there's something weird, with the whole cemetery thing. Apart from the fact that there's not enough of them, and they all seem to start in the sort of 1600s. You can't find any cemeteries that are older than the 1600s, which is interesting. Well, apart from the Great Pyramid, I guess. Apparently that's a cemetery, it's a very large coffin with a sarcophagus that happens to fit the internal dimensions of the exact same size as the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, there is a book from Miss Sherry Ives. Aha, the pyramids. We should have been showing that today, Bernie. I forgot about that. It's mine sitting behind me under a pillow. So maybe we'll have to go through that a bit more in part 2 of the pyramids, because we both got sent this book. We should put you on the big screen. How do we do that? Oh, there. Oh God, what have I done? Now you've got a big picture in front of your face.
Just showing the pyramid side a little bit. But yeah, that's why I brought it out, because we should have been showing it. So I was like, I should show it. And we will definitely have 2 copies out for episode 2 of the pyramids and go in depth with.
And I tried to make your picture bigger, but it's not letting me for some reason. But anyway, so this is this is actually not what's his channel called?
Cesar. Oops.
No, what's the Australian or the English one?
Global Vision. Global Vision is the English one.
Global Vision, but now he's only this one here. He's only got a Russian
the last
speaking
3
one.
years he's just in Russian on this.
But we'll get him on and have a chat and see what he's found in the land of Tartaria.
Look at the station. Exactly. It will be an interesting one.
Alrighty. Well, we're hitting the 2-hour mark. So you got anything else you need to put in here? Information was good.
Yes, 10 a.m. my time, so that is 9 hours from now. If this wasn't enough of pyramids and specifically the geoglyphology science aspect of it all that goes much deeper into it, 10 a.m. on Leak Project, or 9 hours from right now, we'll be premiering my most recent brand new interview with Rex that I go very deep into explaining geoglyphology and the pyramids.
Cool. There you go. On Leak Project and Burn's channel. If you haven't subscribed to BurnEye, make sure you do.
I will be replaying it on my channel on Thursday.
On Thursday. So Leak Project tomorrow morning. And I saw you did another stream earlier, the BurnEye stream.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you go
just
across and subscribe, everyone.
Indeed,
all
yes,
right.
please.
So there we go. It looks like we've come to the end of the show. Excuse me.
May you all have a very energetic portal day of a solstice, and make sure you see at least one sunrise or one sunset and the moonrise, moonset along some of your local arches and skyline, and catch the ancient wonders that are built into your local areas and the magic around it.
Indeed. And thank you all for being here and spending some time with us. We love you all and appreciate it. And we'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.